Well, hello again. We are right now, as you can see here in the upper left-hand corner, by my little pointer thingy, almost to the end of this time's event. I think everything's been completed that's going to be completed because 2 days this isn't going to be a part of this event. And oh, I suppose I do have some cleanup to do to get through these things. I don't know, and I don't mean to be dismissive. I really don't, but I don't know whether for someone in my position, and that's just as somebody who's grotesquely overspent on something like this. Yeah, you know, it's I don't have much use actually for. I'm trying to see if there's anything in here that I kind of maybe missed out on. Usually it's something like a hard to get pilot or something. You know, like for example, this is just an example of something I'm still looking for that I have not got my hands on yet, which is the pilot for the Riker, or the Raker, however you say it, right? Because that's a no-go, and can it be hired? So I haven't gotten that yet, and they don't seem to. I've only seen it once. I've seen the silly Riker come up multiple times, and I'm pretty certain. Did my volume go up? It seems like things are a little louder all of a sudden. Oh, don't even get. See, I have another one here. It's like I have another one of the Aries, because those come around fairly easily, right? Those are not hard to get. Another Aries, because they're not gonna challenge the meta at all, right? That's the reality of it. Although I do think there's some opportunities for the Raker. I just don't have the pilot. I also have 2 of these, which, if you're a support class person, I'm just not much of a support class person. I kind of suck at it. I gotta check my volumes. I swear everything seems like louder all of a sudden. Is this it? I don't know, man. I thought this was up. I had this up before. No music for me. Not a big fan of the interface. Overall audio. I don't know. I guess not really. Alright. Back on to the whatever. Yeah, no, I still think there's some possibility for it. And actually, I think there's some possibility with... Because I don't have enough Hussars. I'd put Hussars and a Dragoon on it. But otherwise, these are good. And because I know I look at a lot of bots out there, and I consider them to be what I call Frankenbots, right? And I'm not a really big fan of doing the Frankenbot thing, right? I wish I had a matching heavy weapon to go with these, but I don't. And I don't have a matching light weapon to go with that. So, and that's how I get caught, right? I'm trying to think of where I got another example. Here's one I was playing around with, because I stuck a frozen tamer on for the rust effect, right? Otherwise, I don't even really like mixing these two. I would rather have a regular Punisher to put on these. Or not a regular Punisher, but an ultimate Punisher, which doesn't exist. Fill out your weapon groups. I do on these for a very specific reason. I've put whatever on these. Currently I just have these there because these are placeholders. I don't actually ever use them for anything. But I always had a corker in the center so that you could keep the drones firing, right? And that also keeps all this stuff going. So, and then I would just switch back and fire these separately. Anything else that I do Frankeny? I don't really like Frankenbots. And so what I was getting at with this is, one of the things that I'll do on these things is, and other people don't do this, so you know, this is just what I like to do. Is I go in and I like to look and I like to see what my ability ranges are, right? And I want things to operate as close to that as possible. There aren't any really good weapons at the range for the full one, but for the glance one, we can get to 600, which is nice, because that actually does a surprising amount of damage once it's, you know, capped, and it reduces damage. So then you can get out there and that's your primary one you go after people with. Enfeeble is an automatic thing, so at 800 that's fine. So 600, and you know, you get to these and you got a 600, and I like to match that stuff up. Otherwise, or like in the case of like this, if I go and I look and I say, what's my dash range, right? Meet or exceed. Yeah, it's like, you know, like a job review. Meet or exceed expectations. So these are good, and I like these a lot because, you know, they do the same damage at 600 as they do at any shorter range, which is one of the things I'm not really a fan with these weapons on, is because, you know, they don't do their full damage at full range. But they can have their place, right? They can have their place, because if something does come in close, if something, they do quite a bit of damage in the very short range. For anybody that's paid any attention at all, you'll notice that I've reorged my hanger a little bit. Kind of in preparation. I really do expect these swords to get nerfed, and I just feel like, because they released this one so fast, a second time even, that's how I got it. I didn't get it the first time. I wasn't forking out the ridiculous amount that they were trying to get out of that originally. I don't have the matching weapons to go with this leveled, because let's face it, leveling 4 ultimate weapons it's a spendy proposition. So for now, they're placeholdered back on something else. But I do like this setup a lot, so I was actually considering doing this up front initially. So yeah, I leveled this thing up, maxed her out, and said, yeah. I think they're gonna nerf it, right? I can't help but think that, because the stats between the prime and that are identical, right? And then there's a difference in the stats, the lower one. And I think they all get the 50% additional to Titans on that one. And there's a part of me that wonders if they're not going to stratify that at some point by nerfing those and keeping the ultimate as it was. And because let's just see something here, because I'm pretty certain there's no difference between that and this one here, because this one's maxed, and yeah, 50%, 15 second. I think that's going to change. I can't imagine that's going to stay. They released this all so quickly for this one, unlike the other ones. I can't help but think a nerf's just around the corner for this, in some way, shape, or form. At least the first. And you know how it is, right? You're going to get one nerf, then you get another nerf, and then possibly, if it's a a little over the top, you'll get 3. Unless they over nerf the first one, which we've seen happen in the past a couple times. Look what they did to the Devourer. 1 nerf, gone, pretty much toast. Nobody uses it hardly at all ever. The Regulator, almost completely gone, 1 nerf. So it's not that they always are mindful about it, but I think the Sword and the Teth are big enough players who are not going to overdo the nerfs. So I expect the first nerf to come pretty soon. I expect a nerf on this to come pretty soon too. And quite honestly, if you look at where it's going to go, I don't think that you're going to see that this gets nerfed much. I don't see that as being anything too outlandish. Maybe this right here, 600K. Expect to see that go down to 300K. Oh no, we're going to be generous. 325K, something like that. You know, it's definitely going to take a hit though. They're definitely going to take, I would have to imagine, at least 30% of it away. It's going to go under 400K, no doubt about it. If we get lucky, it'll be 375. Otherwise, I think it's going to get down to 325K. This is what you're up against. This is your exterior shell that self-recovers, I think, at about 15 seconds. So that's currently what makes these things so painful, even though they nerfed the UC, right? It's because it has that massive shield on it. It's the same thing, you know, it takes that first hit just like the Lynx. It's the same shield they put on the Lynx, basically. Right? So I expect that thing to get nerfed, and it'll be real curious to see what happens at that point. You know, but I think I said it before. I expect this new bot to replace the Teth. And I say that because I don't know if they're going to nerf the Teth right up front, but I cannot imagine that we're going to get more than about halfway through the event, this new event, without a nerf coming to those. And I never thought I'd say this, but I wouldn't mind a nerf to the Samjak. It's not that I can't fight them. It's not that I hate them. It's just that there's so many of them. Holy cow. It's just like, I'm actually surprised that I see more of those things now than when I ran them when they were at their peak power, right? So, but I expect to see the new bot come out. I expect to see the Sword and that get nerfed. I think the Sword one will start out kind of soft. I think this will start out with the shields, and then we'll see what it goes from there. I think I don't know what they're going to do really with this. My feeling is they're going to try to separate it in some way from the ultimate one, and therefore also, you know, soften it up through the main ranks. And you know, I think what they're going to end up having to go after, when you look at the skills, see, I still get messed up on this. This says 2% for the prime. And 1% for this, for the regular one, so to speak, right? But then we go back here, and we're back at 1%. So I don't know if this one's labeled wrong or if the prime is wrong, but I think if this is correct and the prime is wrong, the prime will get nerfed here, just because of the discrepancy. I can't, or they'll correct this and we'll see this come up, in which case the prime may still get nerfed so that this one's above it. But I think that would be a target for them. And outside of that, they don't have a whole lot you can go after with this, right? Not really. It's not really very durable. So the things that they would go after to weaken this are going to be, it's going to be this thing right here. Your durability damage. I think they might level that out if that's wrong. I guess they could increase this. 15 seconds seems long. I can't imagine they would do something like put it at 20 seconds, but they could give it a minor bump just to slow it down a notch. They could do this right here. They could cut this down, set it to like 25%, right? Because you technically have the pilot skill that gives you the if it's at 15%, so they could do 15%, 25%, and cut this down. And the other thing too that would make this weaker is to decrease its movement speed. I have no idea what they would do. I don't know what I would do. I know what I don't want them to do, but at a certain point, I don't really care. I'm not one of the guys that was super dependent upon it. You know, if you watch much of my play, I was very heavily into the Teth, and then falling back to the swords. So, you know, I'm assuming, could be wrong, they've nerfed ultimates in the past. I'm assuming that they'll take the prime down a notch, they'll take the regular one down a notch, and they'll leave this one kind of alone. I do have a tendency to think though that if they go after something like this, that'll probably hit the ultimate as well. If they go after this, I don't think that'll hit the ultimate, but I could be wrong. The ultimate's biggest advantage to me is getting the additional sword swings. So we'll have to see. They could lower the durability on the prime and the regular just because, so it doesn't match the ultimates. You know, I can totally see that. I could totally see them stepping this down to where the regular one is and sticking the regular one down another notch, because they did dump a lot of these primes out there, and then doing some other stuff. But I expect those to go down. I expect this to go down. I don't think that they would go after the speed so much because it's got the teleport. It's not a super fast runner. They could go after that. See, here we go. Block damage, force field durability. Oh, so is this the stock? And then I have what is, you know, because of my pilot buffs. This is what I swear. This is what I think that they're going to go after, though. Even if I'm misinterpreting how that point's got there, that durability right there is going to go. Block damage is going to go. Range will stay the same. That doesn't seem like much. I can't imagine that's going to go down. And so, but this and this, these two right here, perfect targets. And I guess if you wanted to reduce that damage when they go into people, you could take this down to like 10%. You know what I mean? So I guess if I were looking at it, those are the three things I would be targeting. We'll have to wait and see. You know, I have no idea what they're going to do with the Samjock, right? Because there's so many of them out there. They're like a plague. They're not super dangerous, but you know, they'll get you after you've been battling other people for a while and you're weak, right? They're like they went from being absolute aggressive terrors to bottom feeders. Oh yeah, I might as well take care of this stuff though now. And like I said, you know, it's not. I'm not trying to be dismissive or sound arrogant or anything, but because of the I don't even like that term, investments. Anybody who calls this stuff investing, you're crazy. There's no investments here. Investment implies that in some way you're going to get a return. No. This is pure pleasure spent. This is the equivalent of gambling. You might as well consider all of their little stuff with it. This whole thing, this is all gambling. Now, I hate gambling. I just like playing the game. But if anybody looks at this and they say, well, I made an investment of $3,000. No, you didn't invest squat in the game. There's no return. This is pure spend. This is gambling. Okay? So if you cannot afford to throw your money away at a casino, then you shouldn't be spending your money on this game. Right? It is not an investment. There is no return. Unless you're one of the few people that somehow manages to make enough money off of this that it's worth it for you to actually invest in it. Otherwise, if you're like me, every penny I put into this, I know the second I put it in, it's a loss. That's why when people say, oh no, they nerfed this and I spent this money, why you don't get a whole lot of reaction out of me on it. I would not spend a dime in here if that wasn't my expectation, right? I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing, and this is how I entertain myself, and so be it. But when we look in these, I mean, seriously, if you look at the stuff that I already have, and look at the way I play and anything, I don't really have that much use for this stuff. Collector's purposes, kind of only have it around in case something changes. It changes my mind, and it just, because every now and then you get these things where you pull some old stuff out of the dust, right? You level it up because all of a sudden it came back to life for some reason, right? Some particular drone, some particular bot, something that Pix did. Oh, gave it a buff, brought it back to life before they nerf it again and realized they screwed up. like they did with the ice noodles, right? Let's give them a buff. Oh crap! Everybody's using them. They're kicking ass now. Nerf. Oh man. Maybe I don't even need pilots. Another thing I kind of like is, I guess, I don't need any more of these, for the love of God, no more. One of these, another one or two of these, because this could be something that comes to life. They could do something like put Deathmark on the UC, and then these things will be on every bot out there. I think I have enough of these. Russ suggested I try one of these on my Heichi. And I might, because it's 9% damage. I don't know how much value the lockdown will have. And it does a percentage of damage on durability, so I don't know, might not be so bad for a burn down build, right? So let's get these things out of the way here. I know, I'm wasting your time. There are no battles. It's just this fool blathering the whole time. Oh, more Ravager stuff. Poor Ravager. I loved this before the nerfs took place. This was my favorite bot. I used to just mow people down. The regulator Ravager, just straight out of the box. I didn't even put anything UE on it. Just took it just as Pix gave it to us. Same thing I did with the Teth and the spinning weapons. My favorite one is still built the way they gave it to us. Eventually it's going to go away, and it'll be a once upon a past. This was fun, but I've managed to enjoy it so far. Whoops. I have yet to use these on a single thing. I just don't even see the point. Now, don't get me wrong. Back in the day, I ran an Ants a lot. But at this point, I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't seem to do enough to me. It seems like you can burn through it pretty quick. It doesn't feel like it forces a shield breaker, But because you can put more than one on something, you can't make it that strong. So, kind of shot themselves in the foot right from the start. You know, the one thing that Leo's good for, and I keep it around for at this point, is let's say I go down, I lose my Titan. Things are looking like it's a worthwhile fight. Like there's a real battle going on. Pull the Leo out, plug myself into a Titan on my side. You know, I never used these weapons. I leveled them up, tried them, hated them. Never used them. Never used those. Never used the Nenea. Never used any of them. Hated them. I wish I could just push a button and open all those at once. Ah! You're done! In the past, on this kind of stuff, I just kind of end up banking it. So there's always a time when I could use an extra, like, you know, 40, 50, 60 million silver. And I can generally go back when I get to those points and just sell off a bunch of stuff. I don't even really use those I forget what even I did gangles and stuff. I know a lot of people use them for the try to keep people from healing, but I just haven't found it's made enough of a difference for me. Alright, got through those. We are now into out of the common and into the weapons. Yay! I think the only thing we really want from here would just be to get these, just to try to fill something out for looks, maybe. Otherwise, I'm disinclined to actually use anything out of here. Because I'm going to go for the new bot when it comes out, which would be the new weapons, which means, you know, everything slides back a notch, right? And at that point, some of this stuff just drifts back. I mean, I like the fact that these do percentage damage, but it's a little limited use. Just for the percentage damage, because on small things it doesn't do much. It's really for Titan hunting. Which is why eventually I'd like to get the ultimate editions of those leveled up and stuck on the sword. Even though I like my Hussars, I think long term it's going to have a little bit more of a niche role. I could be wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of stuff. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's right. This is the one I'm hoping to get a drone out of. Don't actually care if I do or not. I don't actually need it. I have multiples of everything in here. So it's just me looking at what would I use if I were to get anything at all? What might I use? And down to the last one. Alright. Yay, we're all cleaned up. Now, does this reflect what I just got? This didn't seem... Oh, they did change it. I don't know. This is just parts. See, this is like banking. See, so I could sell that. I can sell this. I can sell this and this. I can... Same with the weapons. Sell. So that's what I mean. It's like a bank account. There we go. Up to date. Is this thing gonna just stay like this now? I don't like that. I like having things with a sense of completion, and I don't want to have to sell these now, and I don't want to always look at it. Oh well. What do we got here? It's just participate 30 battles. Holy cow. Rather drawn out one. What's this red for still? Oh. Okay. Guess. Does that get rid of it? It does. Yay! Alright. But yeah, you'll notice I did make some minor adjustments. I'm just kind of preparing myself for that's going to eventually probably go away. I like this as a beacon runner, which means he'll probably go away. He'll probably go away. Hard to say though. These have a specialized use for them. So now I spend a lot of time going through the data pads. I'd like to drop into a couple matches, but the queues were just like incredibly long. And I get it because of the patching. And so now I know that some of the people, when I first were going into matches, they were having real like groups. Does it seem like the volume's just through the roof or what? We'll see if I can take this, because it does. It just seems like the volume's really high. What the heck? And of course I can't turn the volume down here. Well, this isn't good, is it? Alright. Well, game started late, and my team was pretty much already toast. Don't know that I expect too much at this point, right? Because I got multiple guys on me. Yeah. Yeah, that didn't work out so good. Such is the way sometimes, right? At this point, I am only trying to get damage. I don't actually care about anything else, because this was a loss for me. I mean, we don't even have a full team playing. So, holy cow. This is actually the first time I've used this. I didn't realize just how long those swings last. Dang. Oh, okay. Shield breaker. know, the debate is what's really worth the effort or not? Because again, we didn't even, I think we were down 2 people the whole time. This is my concern, kind of, is that, you know, because I saw it when like Billy was playing, when he jumped on right away, there weren't full squads. So, I don't know. I'm just gonna let it go. Oh, what the heck. We'll get rid of 1 Titan, huh? Yeah. Is what it is. I think the worst part is dropping in late. It's really hard to get anywhere that way. And I didn't really try, but, you know, why? It was all toast from the get-go. So what did I get stuck with? Yeah, they didn't have a chance. 11K. Come on. 65, 66. I mean, 56, 66, 63, 47. I mean, in all honesty, 56, 64. See, 6,400, yeah. He was a no-show. And all the guys that were there battling before I dropped, all low. And they don't have, they have what, 1 guy? 2 guys. Yeah, we were stacked against. It happens. Alright, let's see if I can actually get into the map when it starts instead of 20 seconds after everybody's running around. Alright. I forgot to adjust my sound. And who knows, this might have just destroyed the whole video, because if it's really, really loud, that might not be so good. Might make it hard to hear my voice. That's weird. These guys. Oh, okay. Somebody got back into our area. Alright, let's try to see if I can figure out the sound thing, because it seems super loud. And I don't know what it actually sounds like. So I'm going to end up cutting out here and going back and checking the recording. Because I don't like it. It seems a little bit excessive. Oh, yeah. But before I wander, are you enjoying War Robots? Yes, but I'm not telling you that. I did swap clans out. So now I'm in WR Unity. Not sure I understand the big gaps on the side, but in here, I already made my, I don't even know where I am in the list in this one. Somewhere. Oh, I'm way down at the bottom. I'm at the very bottom. I did my month donation already though. So Jammy Jam, Pennywise, Nitro Duck, oh, Tony. And just to see, because I don't know, the only thing I care about, yes, there you go. 40%, good. And just like the other one that I was in, just like XO, everything else is turned off. It's exactly how it should be. Perfect. Love it. Alright, let's go see if I can see what the sound is like. Maybe I'm completely wrong and I'll just fire this thing back up and everything will be... When I turn my back and these things are lit up now, I give up. Alright. Just in case I don't come back right away, which is very possible. I get distracted sometimes. I can be a bit of a daydreamer. So, just in case, take care of yourselves, people.